I
shit
used
for
to get
50
my
for the
ass beat
bricks.
for sneaking out the window to go to somebody's studio that I ain't even, know I was gonna be a recording artist. So,
But
I used to fuck mad niggas when I was little. That's why dick don't really do shit for me now. Like your dick
yo,
don't
where
really
that just show shit?
Wait, that came out.
That totally, I don't know how you
Wait, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase
how you wanted that to come out.
Wait, hold up. Shit. Wait, hold up. Wait. I gotta start all over.
You know what that means? That's my shit.
I want to show you a picture, right? I'm going to show you a photograph. A lot of you are well acquainted with this photograph, okay? A lot of you black men, you're well acquainted. Okay? Let's look at it. Let's soak it in. Yeah, this is Faith Evans and Tupac. Faith Evans and Tupac, all right? There's a subject of most controversy whether or not she slept with him, and in some instances actually had a little child from him or something. Now, who the fuck knows and whatnot? The one perennial snitch, Jaguar Wright, who gets a pass for being such, says that the woman didn't know if the baby was Tupac's or, Biggie, right? Tupac or Biggie. I don't know, just millions and millions of Tupac and Biggie videos, and half as much as who was in Faith Evans' panties and shit. Okay, big as they are, right? I mean, back in the day, I thought she was conventionally attractive. I usually just see like the heavily edited music videos that she put out that always showed her reclining or a tight shot or a medium shot, so you didn't really get the whole picture. It's just kind of like a big sister and shit with kind of somewhat badly built. She had a huge rack, that kind of helped balance things out. If I may be so bold, be awash in my own fucking masculinity at 56 years of age and shit unapologetically. So, right, so I've seen this picture, right? It gets on my fucking nerves and whatnot because I can imagine how Biggie felt looking at this picture and shit. I can imagine how Tupac feels looking at this picture. And I can imagine how Faith Evans feels about the picture today and whatnot. And I know she hates the fact that this one picture eclipses her entire career as a singer. Right? She had appeared on this show called The Masked Singer. And ironically enough, she was dressed as a giant anthropomorphic skunk. Like Pepe Le Pew. They decided to put her in a skunk costume for some reason. Maybe it's a fraudulent slip. Freudian slip, I don't know how. Maybe I'm word salad it, but maybe it was just some kind of in-joke and shit from the industry of those majority people of a certain faith. And they love to do that kind of stuff and broadcast shit they're doing or who these people are to us and laugh that we're so goddamn clueless. So yeah, this is the picture, the cheating picture. The picture this was one of the high points of the East Coast West Coast feud that was manufactured by the minority majority. Okay? Even when I look back on it, I feel like Suge Knight is simply an employee, doing this best, crisis actor and shit with deep pockets, and probably deep pockets. I always thought to myself, like all this shit that he, the gangster ass shit he does, how can he do legitimate business if any of those stories are true? It could be destroyed in a RICO charge, like quick as fuck. So, the fix was in. They just count on you being so infantile or stupid that you don't sit down and hash it out and shit, Alright? So yeah, this picture gets on my fucking nerves. And it's kind of personal for me too and shit. Not any Faith, Biggie, or Tupac shit. Yeah, it just reminds me of something in my own purview. I see what Tupac's doing. I'm not going to call the brother out right now and say, hey, that's grimy work, man. Right? I don't really believe he was, I don't believe he couldn't possibly be friends with Biggie and, sit up with his arm drink around his chick, okay? He couldn't do it. I know what the intent of the picture is and shit, which is the reason I'm making the fucking video, right? The reason I'm making a motherfucking video. This is grimy work and shit. Alright? There's no... I want to point out in the 90s, you know, the Bad Boy and the Death Row and, you know, all their roster, the talented stars and people and behind the, you know, in the recording booths and, you know, all these technicians, all these people they employed and shit. There's no integrity and shit. Everything was some kind of passion play of, you know, performative bullshit. It didn't amount to nothing because a lot of these people are down bad financially, spiritually, and otherwise, you know, physically too. I just want to point that out and shit. This is some grimy work and shit. But I don't take it serious and shit, okay? Beyond a certain point as far as this being in an educational moment, you know, a teachable moment, mind you.
But wait, there's more.
You married Biggie when you wanted Tupac. You wanted Grammys, but you settled for ghostwriting for a like Mary J. Blige. Or the fact that Valletta Wallace would have rather had Little Kim than you as a daughter-in-law. You want to talk about hilarious? Hilarious is pretending like you didn't know that you weren't sure whether or not you were carrying Tupac's babies. That's hilarious. Hilarious is both that I know and kick it with that worked at Death Row that heard Pac you in the booth and took pictures of your very high yellow ass. If Faith have twins, she probably have Tupacs. Get it?
The Black Patriarchy. A non-existent group of fictional black male power brokers not discredited, erroneously jailed or outright killed by the minority majority who look the other way as they work tirelessly to shame, oppress, and outright take out the altruistic black female populace of the honorable democratic United States of America. 3K's inset bitches. These evil wealthy members of the black patriarchy are the sole reason for all the ills of the black community, walking, talking, holding down jobs, and doing everything up to and including giving their very lives in service to their baby mamas and baby's motherfucking kids. Their motto that strikes fear into the hearts of black women everywhere. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.